Hello, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans. Welcome in here to the AOA baseball field, Andrews Osborne Academy's Loomis Field, as you can see right there out in center field. It says out there Loomis Field. It's going to be 370 feet out there in dead center. That's all the dimensions we have. But regardless, Shaker Heights here today taking on Lake Catholic. However, this time going to be a little closer to Lake Catholic, and I believe Shaker is now technically the road team in this game. The reason being, they had their game. It was meant to be Shaker Heights' very first home game, their home opener out in that Shaker Heights baseball field, but they weren't able to conclude the game after the interruption, delayed encounter and then the eventual postponement of the game due to the tragic events at the Shaker Heights main public library. But now here they are, same two teams, but we're going to be seeing different looks, of course, than we would have seen earlier on in the season. What I mean by that is Malachi Corinne still getting comfortable in that third base spot. We're still having guys like O'Shea Howard trying to figure things out defensively, but he is back out there, though he's not going to be hitting. So a little different lineup kind of for Shaker Heights here today. And again, we'll tell you more about that as the game goes along. But Shaker Heights, of course, seeing as though they are the road team here today, they're going to be batting first. They're in the black uniforms, the black jerseys, black caps, gray pants. While on the other side, they're also kind of wearing their road uniform, an all gray look with the green, that forest green caps. I don't know if they just didn't get the memo as to this was going to be their home game, but considering we are right here, basically out in Menor, it's going to be their game, considering Lake Catholic is that private Catholic school from out here on the east side of Cleveland. But thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Our apologies, Shaker Heights versus West Geauga. We couldn't really get that one going out in West Geauga. We were just almost in the middle of nowhere. The campus is more isolated than a lot of other campuses, a lot of these other high school campuses here in the Northeast Ohio area, so we didn't have the cellular connection that we wish to have, and as a result, we weren't able to actually get broadcasts going, or at least not effectively, and unfortunately, that was Shaker, or not really unfortunate, but it was Shaker's very first, big-time victory. It was their big statement win to start off in the win column against a team that was not Euclid here, still a very, very young season. So with that, Shaker Heights now has 2 wins. They beat Euclid 17-5. They beat West Geauga 7-3. And the guy who closed out that game, giving up 1 run, is Eli Stolfus. We'll be seeing him out on the mound for the Red Raiders here today. And so also starting off the order, once again, newer look, not something we would have seen earlier in the season, is we're going to be seeing Casey Robinson, Michael Coxon, and Aaron Neiman do up for the Red Raiders here in the top of the first. We're going to step aside. Not sure we're getting any national anthem, but we're still taking a minute, as it looks like they're going to still continue a couple warm-ups out here. We were originally going to begin around 3:30, but we're perhaps waiting for the umpire, but we'll stick with you in just a moment here. I'm going to sign off for just an extra second, give everyone some time to breathe. Thank you for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. And sorry for our premature start earlier. Shaker Heights here taking on the Cougars of Lake Catholic High School. Shaker Heights set to have the kind of start that they did against them last time out. Again, that game was interrupted, delayed, and eventually postponed to this date. It was supposed to be, I believe it was April 1st. I believe that was set to be Shaker Heights' home opening game at the Shaker Heights High School baseball field. But Shaker Heights, due to the tragic events at the Shaker Heights main public library, they weren't able to finish out that game for everybody's safety. The game was canceled and again moved to this day. And it's not the prettiest of days. Overcast skies. It's a wet day as well. This game was originally set to perhaps be at 11 o'clock at Shaker's home base, but that wasn't going to work if they wanted to play on this game because of the weather. The weather could have taken out that Shaker Heights baseball field really easily, so they come out here to, as you can see behind me, a full turf field here, Loomis Field at Andrews Osborne Academy. We are not at Lake Catholic High School, which is also mainly a turf field as well, but here Andrews Osborne Academy, a much bigger kind of field, and as you can maybe see, not exactly sure where the camera looks, but a big backstop here today, and that's going to be a big issue for any pitching catching duo, specifically the catcher. But as Michael Coxon said to us before this game today, he said he did just fine in Myrtle Beach, and those backstops were large behind him, and he made good ground behind him. He has also been doing really well from the blocking standpoint. But Shaker Heights, going back to that game in which they only played 2 innings before, it was Casey Robinson on the mound. Today we're going to have Eli Stolfus to try and defend the Red Raiders' winning streak, which is right now up to 2. There are only 2 wins of the season after beating Euclid and West Geauga over the past 2 games. But Shaker Heights, now with Eli Stolfus, who actually closed out that West Geauga game, looking to continue to roll. For Lake Catholic, however, it's going to be a guy that I'm told by head coach Stephen English, a guy that tops out at pretty good velo, and I'm talking the low 90s. So only about 90 to 91. His average is more up in the upper 80s. So that's going to be a big issue for Shaker Heights, considering that their bats have really been struggling, except the last game is when they were not out hit, and that was the very first time this season that we saw that. Coach English just says to his batters, you got to stop expanding the zone. You got to let your pitcher throw strikes, and this guy out there on the mound is also one of the guys that sometimes can have trouble doing that with his high speed. But thank you very much for tuning in. We send you down to Loomis Field here at Andrews Osborne Academy. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call here. As we mentioned originally, this game's set to be a home event for the Red Raiders. That was moved over to Menor, of course, which it's not, of course, either at Menor High School or at Lake Catholic High School. It's out here in Andrews Osborne. And as a result, Lake Catholic comes out here as the home team, so they're, of course, out on the field first. However, whoever was choosing the jerseys and uniforms just really didn't get the memo, so as a result, both teams wearing the gray pants and away looks, but Shaker Heights a bit more noticeable with the black jerseys, black caps, gray pants. And for Lake Catholic, green, forest green caps with the all-gray look to them, which was originally their look when they were coming out for the Red Raiders at their home opener. But here's the kick in the pitch. This one lined off into center. It looks like that can go over the head of the center fielder, but he ranges to his right after going back a little bit, and 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Cougars. Shaker Heights, as we said, the one time they didn't get no hit was that last game against West Geauga. Our apologies for not getting that broadcast up and running. We were kind of in the middle of nowhere. That's a school that has a lot of isolated area around them, so not a whole lot of connection. Michael Coxon takes pitch number 1 for ball number 1. Radigan, your pitcher. Only up to 2 pitches now. Radigan, I believe, was the pitcher against the Red Raiders in their last affair. Here, a big cut and a miss from Michael Coxon. That evens it up 1 ball, no strikes. Also, our apologies. There's no scoreboard out here, which is a rare happening. That one, looked outside, but ruled strike 2. 1-2 goes your count. Aaron Neiman also due up behind Michael Coxon here for the top of the first. But yeah, Shaker Heights just needs to put bat to ball, especially on a turf field like this, that neither of them exactly play on that frequently. Here, Coxon lines one over the head of the third baseman, man. And Michael Coxon on board with a 1-out single. And that's something we need to see early on. Just put things in play. That's what head coach Stephen English has stressed over and over again. It's just putting bat to ball, and they do it with a hit like that from the big man, Michael Coxon, playing catcher out here today. But over at shortstop here today, going to be Aaron Neiman. We actually thought he might not be in on this one. Here, a pickoff throw. Michael Coxon back in safely and didn't even need to leave his feet for him to get back over safely. But Aaron Neiman, we were concerned that he might not get that start over at shortstop today. We're aware that he got a little bit of pain on his throwing arm, but oof, that call inside for a strike to Aaron Neiman. That was a rough call to him. Aaron Neiman, number 21 on the back of his jersey. He's been seeing the ball better and better as the season has gone on. And the next pitch to him, he cuts at one inside, and with the way the umpire has been calling it early, that might not have been the worst read that we've seen out of him. Aaron Neiman right now batting .250. If we're including the scrimmages, then .222. Malachi Cran's a guy seeing the ball really well as well. He would be up next. But keep in mind, seeing the ball well lately, he's only got a 190 average, but that's bumped up a lot over these past couple of games, and so has it for everybody on this squad of the Red Raiders. Out here today for the Cougars from the catching standpoint is number 12, A.J. Trobenner, a guy that Shaker Heights hockey knows well. So hopefully if Isaac Lazar gets in the game, we know Braden White will be in the game. Hopefully those are two guys that can take advantage of and maybe get a little bit of revenge here. Back in standing over at first on the pickoff throw is Michael Coxon. He's aboard over at first. Aaron Neiman an 0-2 hole here with one away and one runner on. 0-0 the scores. We're just getting set. The pitch. This one down low. Michael Coxon on, and they rule him safe. He just got under the slide. And these Lake Catholic fans already very pressed at the call. But umpire sees what he sees, he calls what he calls, and I'm aware we're only having one umpire if I'm looking out to the field right now correctly, unless I'm missing something, but that's why the home plate umpire is making these calls. Oh, and now we're getting the second umpire as we speak. Perfect timing. You can see him coming in on the right side of your screen. He's coming into the middle infielder, or the middle infield, excuse me. Rain has cleared up. It was heavily drizzling, and I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but it was heavily drizzling is the best way I can explain it. It wasn't a full-time rain, and it wasn't really a downpour. It's a heavy drizzle. That's what I'm going to call it. Ooh, that one just outside. That was close on Aaron Neiman. Michael Coxon aboard over at second after the steal that the Cougars' parents did not agree with. But we're going to be playing on anyway. Here's the 2-2, even inside. He called that one earlier. And keep in mind, now it's a payoff pitch coming to him. We count it down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. This one's sent back up the middle. The second baseman almost with a poor read. Now the throw on. Aaron Neiman's going to beat that out. Oh, he calls him out. Oh, that is a rough call. That is not correct. Granted, maybe that's a little bit of a makeup call for the steal over at second, because that was also not a good call. That one went Shaker's way. But my goodness, that call we are certain about. That's not the right call. Even with a middle infield umpire now. But, oh well. Tough go. So instead of runners at the corners with 1 away, it's going to be runner at third with 2 away. Malachi Cran's a guy that actually has played here for summer ball before. Actually went to a game of his earlier on in the summer season, and that one outside called a strike. We can tell the home plate umpire already giving a lot of leverage to the pitcher, and Radigan, of course, with a bigger strike zone. He's going to be a man that succeeds in there, a swing and a miss. It got him going. Malachi Cran settled down. Michael Coxon was able to move corner to corner, but Shaker Heights unable to get anything out of it, and so with that, Shaker Heights will be coming out on defense. Eli Stolfus getting the start for the Red Raiders here today. We'll tell you more about him when we come back. Due up for the Cougars, Boyes, Trobenner, and Mann. Looks like we got walk-up songs out here, which I didn't know that was going to be happening. But again, is technically a home game for the team in all gray, the Lake Catholic Cougars. And again, Shaker Heights did lead after those 2 innings that they played earlier on April 1st, but as we mentioned, due to those tragic events at the Shaker Heights Public Library, they weren't able to finish that out. And they acted like those first 2 innings just didn't happen. They said, let's hit a full reset button. Here we are today. Shaker Heights unable to tack anything on there at the very beginning. And that one, I suppose, outside for ball number 1. Boys, the right fielder in today's game due up first. Number 2 on the back of his gray jersey with green numerals. And this next pitch sent up the middle. And, ooh, that got Eli Stolfus in the side. Coxon is there, but no throw, as he wasn't really able to get the ball in hand. And Eli Stolfus, yeah, he was. And, yeah, he's smiling it over to Michael Coxon, but you could still hear that got him. Shaker Heights already with 1 outfielder out after Nate Landever went down in that West Geauga game. We're not allowed to give you any specifics, but he'll be out for a couple of weeks, we believe. And Eli Stolfus just running this one out in the infield. Eli Stolfus making sure everything's okay. We're also getting a trainer looking at him. Eli Stolfus with a smile on his face. You know he just wants to keep on pitching, but of course the adults need to play their role. It's going to be boys on over at first. The leadoff man on with nobody out just yet here in the bottom of the first. A.J. Trobenner, again, a guy that Shaker Heights wants to shut down in baseball, though they really couldn't in hockey. A.J. Trobenner out there. He plays hockey for Menor and actually won the district with Menor hockey. But he goes to Lake Catholic, and the reason being is because Lake Catholic doesn't have a hockey team, and with the way that all works, if you want to play hockey, you go to the nearest public school then to that private school. And so, well, they're both Menor schools, so he just goes out to Menor, and it makes sense, and he wins district. So hopefully Braden White and Isaac Lazar can maybe get a chance to show him something here today. Isaac Lazar is out of the lineup to start things off, but Braden White, your designated hitter here today. Next pitch, that one outside and a little low. Coxon with a pump over to first, keeps boys close. Your defensive makeup here today, Eli Stolfus, of course, pitching, catching the balls and strikes. Michael Coxon on the infield to the right side. Casey Robinson at first. O'Shea Howard at second. He's your designated fielder here today. Here's the pickoff attempt over at first. Back in safely as boys. The other middle infielder over at short, Aaron Neiman. Malachi Kranz covering third. In the outfield from right to left, Jeremy Silver, Leo Pevnik, that pitch up high, 2-0 goes your count. And out in left, actually, never mind, I thought Isaac Lazar was out of the lineup. That's not correct. Position we've never seen him play before. He's out in left field. Didn't realize that before. But there you go. Again, with an outfielder out, and one outfielder actually is your pitcher here today. This one lined out in the left. Isaac Lazar had a bad read on it. It'll get over his head into the wall. One runner coming in over at third, and they're going to hold him there, and Shaker Heights already in a little bad spot. And again, when you have a guy like Isaac Lazar getting his first rep out in left field, sometimes poor reads can happen, and that's what happens here. Braden Mann, number 9, in the 3-hole here today, number 9. New Balance cleats step into the right-handed batter's box. Runner on second and third, nobody out. Here's the pitch from Stolfus, that one up high. Stolfus, a guy typically comes in relief, but head coach Stephen English has decided to give him more of an opportunity in the starting role. The next pitch off the plate. But if we're including his scrimmages, his ERA is good. It's a 1.9, which at the level of high school baseball is honestly rather phenomenal, but he's one of the very few guys that have that kind of ERA to his name. And that one catches the upper half. So that's if we're including scrimmages. If we're not including scrimmages, we're looking at a 4.2 ERA, which isn't great, but again, it is a lot better than some of these other guys. Or excuse me, maybe I'm incorrect. No, he's at 2.4. So again, not half bad at all. Here, a trade of an out for a run, and Lake Catholic going to be taking the lead on that grounder over to first. And Night Train, the next batter. But yeah, Tro Benner moves from second to third. Runner on third, one away now. And yeah, it's going to be Night Train getting things once again a righty-righty matchup. You can assume, oh, that one looked a little low, but ruled strike one, says the home plate umpire. Eli Stolfus up to now 10 pitches of his first 10. It's been only 5 hitting the zone, only a 50-50 ratio. Next kick and pitch from the right-handed dealer, and that one a little bit up high. Shaker Heights unable to get anything going with their runner at third, so they left one on. Lake Catholic looking to not replicate that success, though they did already get one through. Here's the 1-1 delivery. This one's skied up out and a right. That one has a lot on it. And that one left the park? No, just stayed in, but regardless, it lands foul. But man, that just almost got there. Eli Stolfus and Nitre exchanging a smile as Nitre and Stolfus know that Nitre almost just got the better of him there and made it a 3-0 ball game on the opposite field. But whew, he's lucky to be getting this one back. It's now going to be a 1-2 spot for Nitre, so you can imagine something that doesn't hit the zone here. But oh, it'll catch for strike 3, and that home plate umpire authoritative with his call. There's not a question in here of what that call was. And so it'll be now A.J. Trobenner at third with 2 away. So Eli Stolfus playing damage control now. Malcheski with one that goes outside. He'll take for ball 1. But yeah, Eli Stolfus, he had a start, I believe, out there in Myrtle Beach. After that, not too much more, I believe. Let me get that double checked for you. This next pitch, this one skied up out in a right center, bolting over to a Jeremy Silver. He'll make the grab just in time, and Shaker Heights had a runner on second and third with nobody out, but they'll only let one slip on to the box score, and Shaker Heights, however, does have a run to make up. They're down 1-0 as we head into the second inning. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back with you. Shaker Heights back up to offense, and it's going to be Braden White starting things out here for the Red Raiders in the top of the second. Actually, the duo of hockey guys out there to start things off. Braden White and Isaac Lazar also due up there in the 7 spot. Going to be your pitcher, Eli Stolfus. And here, a bit of a late visit from the catcher. And A.J. Trobenner comes back in, squats behind home plate, and we are set for some more high school baseball. Here's the first pitch to Braden White, down low for ball 1. Isaac Lazar taking some big hacks in the on-deck circle. He got his very first base knock against Euclid the other day, and then I believe he got some good offense going against West Geauga, too. Those Shaker Heights, it did take them 4 innings to get things going on offense, but after they did get things going in that 4th inning, and beyond, or I suppose in the 5th inning and beyond, that one ruled strike 1 on the outside half, I suppose. And then, but yeah, for Shaker Heights, it took them however many innings, but after that, they got 7 runs in those final few. Here, a swing and a miss, scraped off into the glove of A.J. Trobenner. Strike 2, that evens it up. 2-2 goes your count. Radigan up to 19 pitches. Braden White set to receive number 20. Here it comes. That one outside, that for sure. So we got a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. You know, Cleveland baseball, but it gets set as well. They're out in their series against the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. Here, once again into the glove of A.J. Trobenner. And Braden White going to be the victim, number 2, of back-to-back strikeouts, as that's how Radigan ended things off in the top of the first. So Isaac Lazar, again, a guy that's finding his bat more and more day by day, the freshman making things happen. He's got some power behind the bat as well. First pitch in there for strike 1. Again, he's new to the position out in left field. He only had one opportunity to make a play and unfortunately wasn't able to get it going there. A big swing and a miss. He was looking to tie it up with a swing like that, but won't make the contact. 0-2 hole now for the freshman. 1 away here, no runners on in the top of the second. And this next one right down Main Street, that's going to be a 3-pitch strikeout to Isaac Lazar, and that gets the Cougars fans happy with the performance of their ace, Patrick Radigan. A guy that, as we said, tops out around the lower 90s in velocity, averages the high 80s in his velocity, and that's something that Shaker Heights typically just doesn't have. Stolfus takes this one on the outside half. Yeah, Shaker Heights, they have great movement from the pitching standpoint, but they do lack some of the speed there. A swing and a miss from Stolfus, and 3 straight strikeouts right now for Radigan. Will this be 4? Because he has him once again in an 0-2 spot. Here's the pitch, and this one called strike 3. Makes him go down 1, 2, 3, and my goodness. Braden White was able to work it to a full count, but after that, 6 straight strikes leading to back-to-back Ks. And Shaker Heights coming back on defense a little too quick, but we'll see if they're able to limit the damage once again. Lake Catholic up 1-0 as we enter in to the bottom of the second. And Shaker Heights back out to the field. Eli Stolfus back to the mound after he was struck out. Victim of 4 straight now. That one, I suppose, called up high. I don't exactly know. Howman, the batter. The junior with a bit of pause, and now the delivery. This one's sent up the middle. Neiman gets to it. He's a quick infielder, and he makes the quick throw on the first. And, well, that's why the sophomore continues to get these starts out on the middle infield. As we said, we were concerned about the throwing arm entering into this one, but with one play to him, he makes no mistake and delivers in out number 1. Good look there for the shortstop. But Shaker Heights down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. One away here now. And the pitcher for Lake Catholic Radigan now comes up. Pitcher v. pitcher. Stolfus going to step off here. And pitch number 18 right down the middle for strike one. Eli Stolfus, we were talking about him earlier. We did get those stats back up. And as we said, he has that 1.9 ERA through the beginning of the season, including scrimmages. But, yeah, he hasn't really had a start just yet. And it's going to be his first time not including the scrimmages that he is getting a start. He came in relief against University School, against Menor, Euclid, and West Geauga. So keep in mind, that's the last, what is that, 2 games in which he's been used for relief. So it's a question of, will he fatigue quicker? That pitch inside, held off by Radigan on the 0-2 pitch, so now it turns 1-2. But, of course, at the high school level, your pitchers are always going to say, oh, no, I can stay in, coach. And they're a brutal swing and miss, and it doesn't hit the dirt. Radigan thought he did. On a drop third strike, he moved over to first, but umpire calls it for out number 2. Yeah, and speaking of pitchers wanting to stay in games, of course, during that last game against West Geauga, that was a fun game to see. Quinn Malone was pitching a gem, and of course, they did have that injury at the very beginning that came from Nate Landever. But they came back, they bounced back, and they played their game, and they really dominated in those final innings, and just they won their first game that was really a statement victory against a team that isn't Euclid. There's the next pitch from Eli Stolfus. That one, good movement. Looked like it would travel outside, but moved at the very last moment into the zone. But, yeah, Quinn Malone, a guy out in today's game. This one in tight. But, yeah, he pitched from inning 1 to inning 6. And head coach Stephen English asked him, do you want to stay in? And Quinn Malone told him yes, until English realized that pitch count. And there, a swing and a miss. This one will catch the dirt, but the drop third strike over to first is out number 3. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. Lake Catholic still winning, but only by 1. Shaker Heights is set to respond with Leo Pevnik, Jeremy Silver, and Casey Robinson due up for the third. One nothing your score as we enter into inning number 3. This one fouled back. Leo Pevnik to start things off. The center fielder in today's game, he moved over to center, was typically out in left, but again, with the Nate Landever absence, he took over. And Jeremy Silver out in right today with Eli Stolfus coming in to pitch, of course. This next one in tight. Good back-to-back holds from Leo Pevnik. Radigan doesn't like to take too much time between pitches, which is honestly a blessing in disguise. Because sometimes as a hitter, that can take you out of it, but sometimes with that one catching, it's going to be 2-2. But There's a lot of pitchers that just take their time. This one, a tapper foul back into the backstop behind home plate. A brick backstop it is. It's almost a mixture here at Loomis Field, a mixture of classic and modern baseball field. Of course, with modern, you have the lovely turf, but with classic, I mean, you have the kind of brick behind home plate. And of course, the classic good old game of high school baseball. With that one fouled off, we do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, making Radigan work for this out. And then here's another 2 ball, 2 strike delivery. This one down low. Pevnik with good AB right now. The sophomore, elevated from JV this past season, came out, and he is still hitless, but he's looking for that here in this game against a pitcher that he knows he can get the better of. This, oh, called strike 3 on the outside of half. Pevnik thought 100% that was ball 4. Granted, we did as well, and I believe that's an 8-pitch strikeout now for Radigan, and, well, that's strikeout number 5. That's 5 straight. I mean, the first 3 guys for the Red Raiders either got on or grounded out, but after that, 5 straight Ks. And Jeremy Silver, the bottom of the order, number 9 in the order, number 17 on the back of his jersey. If that one's called outside, I don't know what that last pitch was. I really don't. And here's the 1-0, and same kind of pitch location, but that one just grazed over the plate. That's fair. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. 1-0 game with Lake Catholic leading over the Raiders. Here's the next pitch, and Silver looking to tie it up with a big power swing. We know he does have power behind that bat, and we see it all the time in batting practice. We see it all the time in the cages before this game even. This one down low. 2-2. We're back to an even 2-2. But we're just waiting to see Jeremy Silver really get the bat going here in the regular season. And this one's skied up over to the right side. This one should escape out of play. And, oh, almost hit a fan over there to the right of the first baseline. Luckily, seems to be all right. I believe it's starting to drizzle a little bit. Not like before. We said earlier was a heavy drizzle. This one's just a drizzle. Oof. But yeah, this is why we play on turf and not back at Shaker. It's why it was changed from 11 o'clock up to 3:30 from where it was originally. Casey Robinson would be due up next. Here's another pitch. That one up high and away. We count it down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Here in the top of the third, Silver trying to get on base. This one down low, and Silver with 1 away will walk aboard over at first for Casey Robinson. Talk about a guy that's been seeing the ball well. It's been Casey Robinson, and that is a big deal considering he's just been an all-around two-way player. And last year, he was a phenomenal pitcher still. That was only in his sophomore year, but now his junior year, he's, of course, pitching well once again, but now he's got his bat going. I mean, Shaker Heights maybe with their own little Shohei Ohtani there. Pickoff throw over at first. Silver backing barely at first. He'll be safe with the slide, and maybe he'll be playing it a little bit closer. Here's the pitch to Casey Robinson. That one outside. That one broke inside at the last second and too far off the plate to get the call. Robinson 0 for 1 to begin his day. He wasn't a strikeout victim there on the head first slide once again. Silver back in safe. 1-0 count to Robinson. First baseman in today's game for Shaker Heights is per usual, unless he's out on the mound. The kick and the pitch from Radigan. This one up high. And English said, again, to his team before this game, Radigan is a guy that can struggle to find the zone, and he mainly gave a 50-50 split when he played the Raiders in last season's game. At the beginning, he's done rather well, but now it seems like a little bit of a mentality game is creeping in. Here, Radigan taking his time. Here's the kick and the pitch. That one up high. That was a tough take for Robinson. That one just barely above the zone, but he moves it to a 3-0, and here, slide head first once again, Jeremy Silver. He's safe over at first. He's on with one away. 3-0 count to Robinson. And here's the pitch. That one taken, in tight. Robinson was set to deliver the bat over to the dugout, but once again, he's been calling it on that right side from, of course, where your camera lies, to the right side of home plate. That umpire really likes the strike zone, and here another throw on to first. Silver back in safe. Radigan is not comfortable with Jeremy Silver over there at first. I mean, Silver hasn't gotten on base too much in this young season, but you can tell he's just creeping back and forth. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be in tight. Robinson's going to get the call that time. 5-pitch walk issued to Robinson, and well, if he had walked that first guy on the controversial call, it'd be bases loaded, no outs. But unfortunately for Shaker, it's going to be 2 on with 1 out. Michael Coxon, who's 1 for 1 on the day already, out there trying to get the RBI chance. Michael Coxon, after having that's a lot. In the regular season, he started off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games with hits. But after that, he has gone 0 for 4. Of course, he's now back into it with a 1 for 1 start here today. But hopefully this time, in a bit of a clutch position, he's able to tie it up. Radigan almost to that 50-pitch mark. He's up to 47 already. That pitch down low, taken by Coxon. Up next would be Aaron Neiman, another guy that came up clutch against West Geauga the other day. Silver at second, Robinson at first. And here's the 1-0, and a big swing and miss that time from Coxon will even it up. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in a 1-0 game. Lake Catholic leading. And here's the 1-1 and another swing and miss from Coxon. Michael Coxon, a guy who, again, with a lot of power behind the bat, a guy that we have seen absolutely launch baseballs deep to the wall. We saw one in his very first at-bat in Myrtle Beach. First time we've ever called him in varsity, and here a late time call by Michael Coxon. Radigan, we were saying earlier that he was not taking his time, and he was delivering pitches galore back to back to back, and he just wasn't giving him any waiting time. Now he's taking a lot more time with runners on. Here's the 1-2. This one a tapper over to the shortstop, and the throw. He might beat it out. They call him out once again. Oof, tough call. Well, it'll move the two both in the scoring position now. Silver up 90 feet to third. Robinson the same, follows suit to second. Aaron Neiman, a guy could use some RBIs now. One good swing of the bat can actually give Shaker Heights the lead. First pitch to Neiman, catches the outside half. Neiman 0 for 1 to start things out. Neiman was the last guy in the order, or I suppose at the top of the order, to not strike out. But after that, it was from the batting order number 4 to number 8 to all strike out their first time up. And Malachi Crane's one of those victims. He is in the on-deck circle. 1-1 even count here. Right again, the kick, the pitch, and Aaron Neiman chased something a bit too up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stephen English watching over Jeremy Silver over there, the third base coach. Watching over Silver at third, Robinson at second. This next pitch, in tight down low. Good take that time from the sophomore. This season, he has been very, very disciplined and has really gotten to earn this 3-hole spot. We'll see if he's just able to make it happen here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on this next pitch. Up high. Trobenner trying to frame that back into the zone. Umpire not going to fall for it. And makes the count full. Big time pitch here. 2-out payoff on its way. Neiman takes this one. Strike 3 called, and Shaker Heights has left 2 more on base, and Eli Stolfus going to be taking the mound once again. That is a tough one to take. And now that's going to be 6 strikeouts for Patrick Radigan, and we step aside as the offense behind him is going to come up to play. It's going to be Stayer, Boys, and Trobenner due up for the Cougars. Eli Stolfus back on the bump. And Stayer now your batter to the last guy in both orders to get something up at the plate. And now it's going to be his opportunity. The ninth guy in the order due up behind him is going to be Boys and Tro Benner. But yeah, Stayer, number 15. And the kick in the pitch from the righty dealer. That one outside and a little elevated for ball 1. Well, Shaker Heights has had their opportunities already, you got to admit. And right now, Shaker Heights is still being out hit, however, 2-1, but they also haven't gotten a whole lot better to hit. And this next pitch, this one's popped up foul. Oh, never mind. I thought that one went above us, but it's actually out in right field. Jeremy Silver ranges in, makes the grab. And they're a quick and easy out, number 1. That brings us to the top of the order once more. Boys, number 2, and the other right fielder. Stolfus, man, the pitch count's really differing between Stolfus and Radigan. Radigan has already been up to 57. Stolfus delivering his 27th now, and this one low and inside. So unless he has around a 30 pitch third inning, I mean, that pitch count is going to be very, very different at the end as we as we head after this one in the middle inning, inning number 4. Boys, 1 for 1 to start off his day. And he's the 1 run in to score so far. You already know, second time through the order. Stolfus just trying to make him work for it this time around. But 2 balls to start off his count. A bit of a wait, the hold, the kick, the pitch. That one catches the outside half. Man, he's having a wider strike zone, you got to admit, but he's been somewhat consistent. Boys now to 2-1 count, 1 away, no runners on. And this one, runs in and gets him. So Boys will be aboard for the second time. Man, he full on ran it out over at first. He booked it down the line. But A.J. Trobenner, a guy with a big bat to him. You got to play it safe here with 1 out. Of course, double play is in order. A.J. Trobenner, however, started things off 1 for 1. But yeah, Boys seems to be just fine over at first. 30 pitches now to Stolfus of his first 30. It's been 17 hitting. The strike zone, 13 have not. Here's the pitch. That one inside on Trobenner, but ruled for strike 1. Trobenner didn't like that call. Granted, a lot of the batters haven't liked the inside calls so far. And you can see it on their facial expressions as they look to their head coach at third, and they say, "Are you kidding me?" But here the pickoff throw over to first. That one almost got out of Casey Robinson's reach, but just able to keep it close. Boys taking his lead off of first. Stolfus doesn't even check him this time around. This one going to get past Michael Cox and bounce its way behind the back of the umpire, and easily taking second is going to be Boys with only 1 out. I was talking to Michael Cox before this game, and I said to him, "Listen, you got a big backstop behind you." But he said back to me, "If it's a brick backstop, that thing's going to bounce right back to me, and I can make a quick and easy throw." This one missing the mark. 2-1. Now goes your count to Trobenner. RBI chance for the catcher now. But yeah, Cox in that time, if the ball had just bounced correctly, he would have been able to grab that and make the throw in plenty of time to get Boys out at second. This one's skied up over to the left side, and that one's going to go foul out of play. That evens it up 2-2. Runner on second, 1-0 score. Lake Catholic leading here much closer to their home base out here in Menor. And this next pitch from Stolfus outside and a bit elevated mid. What I'm thinking right now, if there's a ball that goes foul, that can honestly really hit that kid over to the right of the first baseline. And someone's got to get that kid out of the way, because that ball can come in and get him. This one's skied up over to the left side. We're going to do it again at a countdown. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. But this netting can really give to a foul ball or a ball that just gets away, and he was sitting right up on the netting. That can get him. It's typically the caging behind home plate that thing's not going to give. Typically, we're not even going to put our camera setup behind a netting setup because, well, this is all we've got. And this next pitch cut on, sent foul over to the left side once again. Joe Benner staying alive, making Stolfus work for it. We do it again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count to A.J. Benner. That one broke at the last moment, but Benner just knew that thing was going to work its way in. Now we're going to get time called by number 12. Stolfus up to 37, 38 to be on its way. Boys taking his lead off of second. Kind of a conservative lead here. And here Michael Coxon thinking about the pump over to second, doesn't give one. That was ball 4, missed the mark. And head coach Stephen English, with 2 aboard and 1 out, has seen enough to make him come out to the bump. He's going to talk things over with his starting pitcher, infield, and Michael Coxon over at catcher. We'll be right back with you here in the bottom of the third. It's a 1-0 score. Stolfus remaining out on the mound. Due up next is Mann, 0 for 1 to start things off here today. But now in the bottom of the third with 2 guys aboard and 1 out. Opportunity for an RBI here. Stolfus struggling a little bit more to find the strike zone here in this third inning. Trying to keep the game in a 1-0 score, and this one fouled back. That's what we're talking about. That one almost snuck under the netting and out of this one, but the wiring just keeping it in. Number 9 on the back of Braden Mann. Again, all gray look here today for the Lake Catholic Cougars. This next one outside evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here, 2 runners on. It's Benner over at first. It's Boys at second. In the bottom of the third, Shaker down by 1. Their offense has had plenty of chances, but haven't been able to find the box score here. The throw on to second, a little bit of a late one, avoids the balk. And now time called once again. This time it's going to be my Michael Coxon as he wants to talk things over with Stolfus. It's a quick and easy one. Just said one quick message, runs on back. Typically they'll take a extra second out there, just give their pitcher time to breathe, but Michael Coxon said, let's get back into this one. And here we are. We'll now get the delivery on a 1 ball, 1 strike count. The pitch. And this one lined out into right center. That one's going to fall down and maybe even bounce its way all the way to the wall. That's going to score 1 at least, 2 coming around, rounding third. And that's going to be a triple for Braden Mann. And that works the lead for Lake Catholic. 3-0 now your score. Runner still threatening as he's now going to be at third with only 1 away in the bottom of the third. Eli Stolfus struggling early in the game. Beauty of a base hit that time. Nitre 0 for 1 to start things off. He'll swing through strike number 1. $3-0 now your score. Cougars lead over the Red Raiders here at Loomis Field and Andrew. Ooh, that one in tight, called ball 1. Andrews Osborne Academy campus out there in right field. You're going to be seeing their whole athletic facilities, and that's right, that's a big building, and that's all for athletic facilities, I'm told. That one runs in and gets number 13, Nitre. And Malcheski due up now. Runners at the corners, 1 out, so well, that will move Shaker Heights' defense into a double play chance, but it's just never exactly the most likely thing here in high school. at this level. Double plays are so much more rare than they tend to be in the majors. Nitre aboard at first. It's man at third who had the 2 RBI triple. Still only one out. Malcheski 0 for 1. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. If things get loaded out there, you can imagine English might come back out to the mound again. But that'd be getting ahead of ourselves. This one, check swing, will still go foul over to the right side out of play. Runners at the corners. Now an even 1-1 count, one away. The Cougars are looking dangerous here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That one right down the middle. 1 run there in the first. After that, nothing in the second. Stolfus was looking great. And then here in the third, things have just kind of gotten a little bit out of hand from Stolfus. But now he's got him in a 2-strike count. And this next pitch going to be rung up. And Malcheski starts his day off 0 for 2. And Stolfus will get strikeout number 4. Josh Howman now with an RBI opportunity of his own. Stolfus nearing the 50-pitch mark. He's up to 48, 49 to be on its way. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. The pitch, that one catching the outside half. That was a good location on the pitch. Here, bottom of the third, fell a lot longer, but Shaker Heights, if they can get a big time out here, that can give the Bat some momentum before they come back out. This one outside evens it up. But yeah, Shaker Heights, as we said, have now left 3 on base. In that middle inning is where they start to warm up, and they can't just warm up, they got to get hot here in that middle inning. Stolfus now to that 50-pitch mark of the 50, or excuse me, now 51. 28 have hit the zone. This next pitch, this one lined out into left. That one's going to go out of play foul. Evens it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on, 1 out of each corner. Nitre at first, man at third. 2 runs have already come in to score here in the bottom of the third. Damage control here for Stolfus. If he can get a K, that'd be big. And here a swing and a miss, drop third strike. And the throw on the first right there for Casey Robinson to make the play. And there is out number 3. Bit of a longer inning that time, but again, Shaker Heights only down by 3. They can come back into this one as they're going to be huddling up outside of their dugout to talk things over, as they know they can get right back into this one with a couple swings of the bat. Due up for the Red Raiders will be the 4, 5, 6 guys: Malachi Kranz, Braden White, and Isaac Lazar, each starting off 0 for 1. We'll see if that remains a hitless story for them in the middle inning. Here we are, middle inning number 4. Shaker Heights finds themselves down by 3-0. Your score. Shaker Heights has already had, I believe, 3 base runners now. Malachi Crane's repping a new light blue bat with the red accents. I'm not a baseball bat kind of person. I'm sure he could identify all the specs with that baseball bat, but all that really matters to me and, of course, you guys, I'm sure, as well, is what he can do with a baseball bat like that. Malachi Crane's number 15, Air Jordan cleats, digs in. And I'll always say this, that is a lovely look for cleats. I mean, it just works with the Shaker Heights uniform always so well, with the primary red, the black and white with them. It's not something like Jeremy Silver, who, yes, he has good cleats, but they're neon green, and they just really don't exactly fit with that uniform, though it will work. Ooh, head coach Stephen English trying to get that foul ball. He'll get a little bit of a heckle from the dugout after he was unable to snag that one, but with that, that evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out just yet as we're just getting things started here in this middle 4th inning. Braden White, Isaac Lazard, 2 up behind Malachi Cranes, all 0 for 1, but trying to change that here. They all struck out their first time up. The 2 to Cranes, and now he goes down swinging again. Start 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and the 2 hockey guys do up next. Braden White coming in. Braden White, with one swing of the bat, can change the complexion of any game. He's a guy that can launch one out in the left field. We saw it against Heights last season, and looking for that same thing to get brewing once again. Sky's becoming a little lighter, as it looks like we're hitting a wave of good air over us. And here, Braden White lines one out, and that's going to keep on rolling. Braden White going to round second, and they're waving him over to third. So how about that? A 1-out triple for Braden White. I told you, one swing in the bat from this kid can change momentum right back over to the Raiders, and now RBI chance here for the freshman. Isaac Lazar, number 8. Number 13 in hockey. That's always something as a commentator. It's really weird to get used to. It's just that different number change. What's 100% worse, however, and hockey does this all the time, is they switch numbers on the same team. After 1 year, they're one number. The next season, same sport, they're another. Here, Isaac Lazar takes one low and outside for strike 1. Just caught that corner. 1 away here, 1 runner in scoring position. Tough call up high. You could see there, head coach Stephen English, he was looking at Isaac Lazar. He was just shaking his head. He was like, that's not the right one. But, ooh, that one almost got up high and domed him up in the helmet. Luckily, he's able to get out of the way. And, well, if there's anyone out there wondering why they wear helmets, that's exactly why. This next pitch, oh, rung him up on a pitch down low, and a pair of strikeouts now, so it's for Stolfus, 2 outs. Not wanting to have Braden White be another run left on base. Man, that jet up over our heads is a loud one, and even the umpire says we're going to take a second for that thing to get away. I don't know if we're having a whole air show or what, but, I mean, this is loud over the Loomis field. And that can obviously hinder communication out on the field, so that's why they wait a second. Here, a tip into the glove of A.J. Trobenter for strike 1. Eli Stolfus 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Radigan already up to 8 here on the game. Stolfus now 0-2. Shaker Heights only with 2 hits so far. They're looking to get their first run out to the board. Radigan now up to 70 pitches. Or, of course, with this delivery, it'll be 70. That one outside. Good hold that time by Eli Stolfus. Patient on the 0-2, and it turns into a 1-2. 2 outs here. Runner on third is Braden White. This pitch, ooh, inside. Eli Stolfus frustrated with the dugout. He got out of the way of that one, just instinct, but he kind of wanted to take it into the rib that time because then he'll take first and give a fresh new at-bat to Leo Pevnik. But he takes another one, and that works it to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shaker Heights looking for that first run. Big-time pitch coming up for Radigan. White taking the lead. Here's the payoff, and swing and a miss from Eli Stolfus. And Lake Catholic gets out of the one-out triple that Braden White was able to produce. And, man, Shaker Heights just needs to continue to cover up on defense. As we're going to step aside, thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. Eli Stolfus should be continuing things on the bump. We're halfway through this one as Shaker Heights down 3-0 as we enter into the bottom of the 4th inning. Shaker needing to get some hits, but after they get one hit, they just haven't seemed to pick up any momentum behind those hits, and as a result, they find themselves in a losing game with Eli Stolfus needing to protect the 3-run deficit. Kicking the pitch from the righty. That one outside. I'm not sure who exactly would be the man of relief today for Shaker Heights. Typically, the way English plays it is that if you have a righty start, you have a lefty come out in relief to try and trip up the hitters, but I don't exactly know who that would be. This one outside as well, ball number 2. But yeah, Shaker Heights, I suppose, would maybe use Quinn Malone, though he just did start the other day. I don't exactly know how that all would work. Here's the 2-0. Outside once again, that one getting away from Cox, and a 4-pitch walk would definitely warrant a little bit of concern. Radigan, your pitcher for Lake Catholic, the batter, 0 for 1 to begin things. He K'd his first time up, but right now it's looking like he might get the opposite and turn it into a walk here on a 3-0 pitch you can imagine he'll be taking. And that one right down the middle. Typically, that's the kind of pitch that any pitcher is going to make if they can. On a 3-0, you're going to give them the most hittable stuff because they're not going to be taking the whack at it. This time, he'll work it back into a full spot. 3-0 to 3-2. It's full with nobody out to Patrick Radigan. And now Radigan's got to protect, but Eli Stolfus is going to keep them off the base paths. 3-0 Lake Catholic already leads. Can't let anything more slip on by. Here's the next pitch from Eli Stolfus. Oh, catching the outside half. Not sure where that hit, but there you go. Strike 3. 3 straight balls, 3 straight strikes, and Radigan now is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and the umpire still just calling it very, very wide. New batter comes in, and it's Locker 0 for 1 as well. He struck out his first time. Stolfus now up to 60 pitches. Of his 60, it's been 33 hitting the zone, which of course means 27 not. And typically it's not the ratio you want. Here we'll get the swinging miss from Locker. Shaker Heights needing to stay alert out on defense, as they have not had much sent in their direction, it feels like, in a couple of pitches. You can see Shaker Heights, the defense behind him, just kind of starting to look more loose. But hopefully they're staying alert. As I said, right now this is a piece of the game where the counts are getting worked, but as a defense, you gotta stay up and ready for any play that comes to you. Here's a 1-2. That one outside. 2-2 goes the count. Again, your defensive makeup out in the infield from right to left: Robinson, Howard, Neiman, Kranz. And out in the outfield from right to left: Silver, Pevnik, Lazar. The 2-2 outside. Oh, and I guess the game changer had it wrong, as they say that one is ball 4. And so Stayer comes in. He's 0 for 1. With now 1 away, a double play opportunity here for the Red Raiders. The pitch to Stayer. This one's skied up, foul over to the right side into the trees. And it looks like they're constructing a bunch of homes over to the right of the first baseline. Or if they're not, they're taking them all down, which would seem a little foolish. Next pitch from Stolfus. This one up high. The throw on the first, and it's going to be Locker back in safely with a head-first slide. 1-1 even count. Stolfus just trying to slow things down for this Lake Catholic offense. Here the pickoff throw, and safe, says the infield ump. One still to be delivered. 1 out, 1 on. This pitch, swing and a miss. Rough little swinging strike that time from number 15. And then once again, we're going to be getting this air show above us. Though this time it's not going to warrant a time call. Here's the pitch. That one, ooh, just down low. And here we're getting time ruled once again. And now we're back to it. 2-2, the count. Here's the pitch. That one catches, I don't know where, but strike 3 called. And that's out number 2. I don't know if that's a diversion, that plane, or the jet, I suppose. But, man, this umpire has not been calling the plate as his zone. Boys, 1 for 1 with a walk. Ooh, that throw a bit off target, but Robinson keeps it in front of him on the pickoff. Boys, the first run of the ball game there in that first inning. This one, I suppose, high. Locker. Just like Jeremy Silver with the neon green cleats, he'll take his lead off of first. Stolfus doesn't check the runner. He'll just go ahead and deliver. And that one fouled up our way, if you can't tell. Shaker Heights, again, in their black uniforms. On their road look, I don't know why Lake Catholic decided to go with their away look as well, but someone just didn't get the memo. And here, the throw down to second, and that's on the money, and the tag, and he's out of here. Beautiful throw from Michael Coxon, once again behind home plate, and the throw on to Aaron Neiman. They'll embrace each other coming off to the dugout, and they are feeling And they got to just feel that on offense now. You got to turn that momentum over into your bats, and we'll see if they can as we enter in to the 5th inning. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. Bottom two guys in the order due up: Leo Pevnik, Jeremy Silver. Leo Pevnik lines one out in the right. That one going to get down. Hit number 1 for Leo Pevnik. And there you go. Big time, not that time. And one pitch, one man on here for the Red Raiders. They're only down 3, and if they can just get things rolling like that, feed off of each other like they did against West Geauga, that's how you make things happen. And here a pass ball over at first on the pickoff. Leo Pevnik going to be in standing at second. This is the momentum they need. Jeremy Silver in now. He's 0 for 0. Reason being he walked his first time up. Behind him would be Casey Robinson. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. He also walked his last time. And Silver showing bunt. That one scrapes off. This one actually escaping out in a shallow center. Pevnik was quick to get back in over at first. The ball did escape out in the center, but there to grab it was Malcheski. Good heads-up play by the center fielder. 0-1 after the foul tip into the glove of A.J. Trobenner. We'll see if they bunt once more. Nobody out just yet, and indeed they'll try it. He'll hold back this time, but the umpire says it caught the plate. I don't... Radigan up to 76 now. And the next offering to Silver. Swing and a miss. He walked, then he struck out. And 1 away now with a man in scoring position. If Shaker Heights cannot get Leo Pevnik in this time around, that's going to be a big-time issue. Robinson 0 for 1, as we said. He walked his last time up, though. And this one's sent over to the second baseman, and an easy throw on the first. So already not looking good here in the top of the 5th. Big-time RBI chance here for the catcher, Michael Coxon. Coxon 1 for 2. Runner on third is Leo Pevnik. You can't let his regular season varsity first hit go to waste now. Here at Loomis Field on the Andrew Osborne Academy campus, Shaker Heights has not beaten Lake Catholic in a couple of years now. And they have an opportunity here, a one-hop, and the second baseman misses it. The throw on the first, beat it out, and the run will come on an error. But as Stephen English said, you just got to put the ball in play, and on a turf field that no one's used to, things like that will be happening, and, well, it happened there. And 3-1 is now your score. Lake Catholic does still lead. Aaron Neiman now digging in. Here's the first pitch to him. Ooh, that one missed inside. 0 for 2 begins Aaron Neiman's day. He struck out once. Already 10 strikeouts for Patrick Radigan out there on the mound. 81 pitches for him there. Ball 2, 2-0. Kranz would be due up next if he gets the chance. Taking his lead off of first was Cox, and he's back over safely at first. Radigan with good, quick pickoff attempts. We get time called. Everyone, I'm not sure who called it, but now we're back to it. Aaron Neiman lines one out in the center. That one might have too much on it, and then, oof, almost missing it that time was the center fielder Malcheski. But Shaker Heights only able to scratch through one, but one is better than none, and they got to keep their heads up now as back out to the mound, going to be Eli Stolfus here in the 5th inning. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. 3-1 now your score due up for Lake Catholic. It's going to be their 1, 2, 3 guys, boys, Trobenner, and man. We'll be right back with you here. Music cuts off. That means we're back to the action here as we enter into the bottom of the 5th inning. Shaker Heights got their first run through, but now they've got to protect it against the 1, 2, 3 guys in the order. And all 3 of their runs are coming from the bat of Man, who has the 3 RBIs. Well, on the other hand, Trobenner and Boys make up the 3 runs, so tough part of the lineup here for Stolfus. And it's a big-time opportunity for Lake Catholic to grab momentum back while they're still up by 2 runs. We'll see how Eli Stolfus can just respond, knowing full well that these 2 guys have really gotten the better of him so far. Boys 1 for 1 with 2 runs, and he got hit his last time up. 2 times have Lake Catholic been the victim of hit by pitches. 1 from Nitre as well. Here's the 2-0. That 1-2 down low. 3-0 goes to count. Don't know who would be up in relief if they were to get one. No one working out in either pen. So Stolfus on the 3-0 to Boys. That one catching the outside half. And Boys knew it. Boys, 2 runs with him now. Trobenner with 1. And Man, the 3-hole hitter, he's the guy with the 3 RBIs. This one going to go for ball number 4. 5-pitch walk that time, issued from Stolfus over to Boys. And A.J. Trobenner due up now. Trobenner 1 for 1 to start off his day with a run to his name. He walked as well. Runner on first is Boys. Pickoff throw over at first, and ooh, almost not getting there in time was Boys. It was pretty close. The infield ump indeed says he was safe. He was almost crawling back over to first. That one outside to Trobenner. 6 pitches to begin this one. 5 of them have missed. Boys with another lead off of first. Here's the pitch, and that one missing again. 6-7 now in the ratio of balls to total pitches here on the inning. Hopefully not going to make it 7-8 because now it's a 2-0 spot. Stolfus now up to 80 pitches. 81 on its way. That one down there. Of the 81, 41 of them hitting the zone. If this one misses, he'll be right back to a 50-50 ratio. Boys taking the lead off of first, and the kick pitch. And there, big hack. And that evens it up. From 2-0, he goes to even 2-2. This could be a big strikeout if he's able to grab it. Boys, once again. And here's the pickoff throw. Bit too long of a pump that time from Stolfus to try and get him out over at first. Ample time that time for Boys to read it and get right back over to first. If we get time called, but right back in the left-handed batter's box is Strobanner. Stolfus now checks over at first. Here's the pitch. And this one's skied up. This one being read by Leo Pevnik. He'll make the grab over the left shoulder for out number 1. That's a big first out. They have not been able to get either of those first 3 guys out at all. But there they get it. Or I suppose they have been able to get man out, but keep in mind he's the guy that has all 3 RBIs, and here he is now. Man had the 2 RBI triple his last time up. His first time up, he got the 1 RBI grounder. Stolfus checks the runner at first, but he'll deliver the pitch, and this one outside for ball 1. Man, as we said, 1 for 2. Stolfus looking at the 84 pitch mark. 85 is being sent, and this one fouled back into the body of Michael Coxon, and it's heavily padded. He'll be all right. You know, when the biggest concern was mainly that first thing that happened really was Eli Stolfus got hit in his side by the ball getting sent right back in his direction. Luckily, he was all right, and he was able to continue this game forward, and this one sent up. Another read for Leo Pevnik to make. He'll range back and make the grab routinely for out number 2. Big-time stuff for Eli Stolfus getting those last 2 outs. He does still have Boys over at first, but things feel a lot more manageable right now. Number 13, Nitre, your first baseman in today's affair, digs into the right-handed batter's box. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Got hit by a pitch his last time. And here the 2-out pitch, low and inside. 3-1 your score, Lake Catholic leading here at Andrews Osborne Academy. Nitre on the 1-0 pitch, and this one going to get away from Michael Cox. An easy slide into second for Boys, and now RBI chance for Nitre. Bottom of the 5th inning. Threatening to extend that lead are the Cougars. Now 2-0 delivery, but we don't get it as he steps off. Stolfus gets set. Nitre looks to him. Behind Stolfus is going to be the runner, Boys. And here's the 2-0. Cut on, missed, and ooh. That one almost got into the father of Nitre behind home plate. He was filming, and as we said, that thing can give. Baseball went right in his direction. He had to back away as quick as he could. One more passed ball, and this becomes once again a 3-run lead for the Cougars, as now runner over at third is Boys. He moved from corner to corner throughout this one at bat. Here's the 2-1. And this one sent over. Cran's unable to pick it off the dirt. That one going to sneak through and score run number 4. That one a hot shot off the bat and an RBI coming in for Nitre. And we're going to get time called by Michael Coxon as he goes over to talk things over with Eli Stolfus. Michael Coxon shrugging his shoulders towards Coxon. Seeming almost in an aggravated expression towards Eli Stolfus, which isn't the way you need to approach it here. But hopefully that's not exactly what was said. We're going to get in a pinch run now. 13 Nitre coming out. The new runner coming in is number 28. We'll give you a name if Game Changer gives us a name. New hitter is Malcheski, center fielder in today's game for the Cougars. 4-1 now your score with Lake Catholic leading in the bottom of the fifth. Gogola, the new runner over at first. And there, this pitch up high over the head of Malcheski, though Michael Coxon able to get that read and keep it where it needs to be, and that's in front of him. 1-0 count to start things off, and the new AB for Malcheski. You can imagine this is going to be Stolfus' last inning here with the pitch count now up above 90. This one missing low and away. Still no one exactly working in the pen, so we'll see who would come in relief. Maybe you can imagine it'd be actually probably that makes sense. Jeremy Silver out in right field. They would just swap positions perhaps. Here's the pitch. That one right down Main Street. That's going to be strike number 1. They're trying to catch Eli Stolfus over at first. He was trying to get Gogola with the quick pickoff after the pitch. Malcheski, as we said, 0 for 2. He takes ball 3 outside. Stolfus trying to avoid another walk here and move another runner into scoring position. Tough pitch here on the 3-1. 2 outs, runner on first is Gogola. Pinch runner. This pitch catches on the outside half. Good pitch location that time from Stolfus. No question as to whether that one was. That did definitely catch the plate. And it's going to be pitch number 96 for him now with the runner on first. And a full count, 2 outs. Big pitch coming in here. If he can get him out, big deal. Here, they caught him up in a rundown. Shaker Heights struggles here. We'll see if they're able to get this one down. Aaron Neiman applies the tag. And again, Shaker Heights gets out of an inning off of a unfamiliar kind of out, but it'll work for him. And Shaker Heights, again, as we said, need to carry a little bit of that defensive momentum into their bats. And they're huddling up once again outside of their dugout, talking things over, because they've only got 6 more outs to work with, 3 runs to make up. Thank you very much for tuning in on all of On the Call. We'll see if the Red Raiders can get a comeback brewing. Shaker Heights back up to bat. It's going to be Malachi Kranz, Braden White, Isaac Lazar, a squad that has been struggling to get much going on offense. Braden White, the only guy, the 3 that has a hit, and it was a triple. 4-1 your score with the Cougars leading. This next pitch over to Kranz. Try to line it down the third base side. Unfortunately, just rolls foul. Shakerheads needing to string some bats together. Malachi Kranz takes off his helmet, reveals the big mullet that he's got, and puts it right back on. Takes a big deep breath and comes back in. New bat in hand, trying to get something going. 1-1 even count, nobody away here in the top of the sixth. That one taken, I suppose, a little bit up high. Ball 2, 2-1. Malachi Kranz here takes this one, pops it up. Second baseman under it, makes the easy routine grab. Kranz goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Not exactly his day with the new bat. Hopefully he's not going to take it out on the light blue bat, but just exactly wasn't his day up at the plate. And now Braden White digging in. A guy that tripled last time up on the 1-out triple, however, he wasn't able to come through and score. There's a big-time catch from Patrick Radigan to get out of that one. Next pitch over to Braden White and chased it outside. 1-1 goes your count. Braden White, as we said, 0 for 2. He struck out in his first time. As we said, 10 strikeouts for Patrick Radigan already. Here's the pitch. That one up and outside. Missing for strike 2. And this one sent out into left center. That was going to get down and roll its way to the wall once again. We'll see Braden White going to come over to third, and that is a tough call. But, oh, they missed the cutoff man. Braden White slides into third for what is his second triple of the game. Good work from Braden White, continuing to get into scoring position, hustling down through the base paths, and English playing it aggressive over there as the third base coach, and he was reading that defense perfectly. And he was able to call in Braden White over to third, and that was the right move. Isaac Lazar starting off 0 for 2. 1 out. Same kind of position we saw earlier was we were seeing Braden White over at third with 1 down. Up past 91 pitches is Radigan. Now he's at 92. This next pitch catches the outside half. Evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Up next would be Eli Stolfus, number 6. Pitch to Isaac Lazar. Swing and a miss. 1-2 goes your count, and Isaac Lazar, he has already struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. So hopefully it's not going to be 0 for 3 with 3. Big time pitch coming against him. Here it comes, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3. He goes down on strikes, all 3 of his ABs. And there's number 11 for Radigan. If Braden White has gotten twice 1-out triples and he's not able to score on either of them, that is a bad sign for Shaker Heights' offense. That one over the play. That's going to catch strike 1. Eli Stolfus also 0 for 2. And this next one outside evens it up, 1-1. Shaker Heights not getting out hit. He's been able to string these hits together. I also haven't had any defensive errors. And that one was going to be right down the pipe. There we go. Strike 2. Stolfus in a 1-2 spot. 2 away. Runner on third is Braden White. Big time to get a run if you're Shaker Heights here. And here comes that 1-2. And swing and a miss. Radigan with K number 12 now on the game. And with 12 strikeouts, that only means that 6 outs haven't been strikeouts. I mean, that is impressive from Radigan, and got to tip your cap to him. We'll see if that's it for him, but Shaker Heights now twice has had Braden White on third with only 1 out and haven't been able to get him to come across to score in either one of his times out. Eli Stolfus going to be coming back out to the mound. We'll see. if fatigue begins to settle in here in the bottom of the sixth. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. To the bottom of the sixth inning, we go out of seven. Shaker Heights down by 3. Eli Stolfus back to the mound. He is up to 95 pitches, 49, hitting the strike zone. The others missing. Stolfus was his 23rd batter faced, which is a rare happening. It's a gloveless Malcheski. Luckily for Stolfus, the three guys do up all 0 for 2. And here's the pitch. And this one's skied up over into right field. Silver getting under it, and it would have just fallen fair, but Silver doesn't let it fall at all as he makes the grab down the line for a one-pitch, one-out situation. Josh Howman now due up. As we said, 0 for 2. Good quick out is what we need from Stolfus now. Get the bats back up there, because Shaker Heights now only has 3 more outs to work with. Due up for them will be Leo Pevnik, Jeremy Silver, and then the top of the order. And after the out, it looks like they're going to bring in Silver to indeed come in relief. So we're going to step aside as we get the pitching warm-up and the change. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. We'll be back with you when all is said and done in that regard. Oh, actually, they're giving the rock over to Casey Robinson. And it looks like Eli Stolfus will then take over at first. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. Eli Stolfus, his final stats, 96 pitches, 46 of them missing, 50 of them making it over the plate and being ruled as a strike. Right now, Casey Robinson coming in relief, a rare happening, and he'll lay one right in there for strike 1. Casey Robinson, we haven't seen him come in relief in a long time, at least here on the broadcast. If I'm missing something, then that's on me, but... And actually, Casey Robinson did come in relief against Gilmore Academy, but for 3 innings, this one's going to be a very, very limited outing. And Robinson now 3 pitches down, all of which being strikes, and Howman staying alive with the foul into the backstop. Robinson, a guy that has just been, once again this season, just doing his job and doing it well out on the mound. And Hero pick up a strikeout. This is what we're talking about. And Patrick Radigan, the pitcher, due up now for Lake Catholic. So Casey Robinson honestly might not even get to 10 pitches, depending on how well he comes in here. And here's only pitch number 5, and this one lined out in the left field. That one going to be read by Isaac Lazar. Oh, you saw it. Just caught by the tip of the glove of Isaac Lazar. That one almost peeked out, and Shaker Heights now, after once again another lights out, even though it was only 2 outs, it was lights out from Casey Robinson. And so Shaker Heights with 3 outs to make up 3 runs. They're down 4-1 as we enter into the top of the 7th, the final inning of regulation. Thanks for tuning in. Due up for the Red Raiders to get things done. It's going to be the bottom 2 guys, Leo Pevnik, Jeremy Silver, and Casey Robinson himself. We'll be right back with you. Top of the 7th, here we come. 3 outs to work with for the Red Raiders. 3 runs to make up. 4-1 your deficit with Lake Catholic leading here in Menor, Ohio at the Andrew Osborne Academy Loomis Field. Here's the first pitch to Leo Pevnik here on the new inning. He'll take for strike 1. Shaker Heights, well, they once again are not being out hit, and that's not the issue here today. It's just the fact that they have not been able to string together hits here. Taking Pevnik, going to leave this one, and strike 2. Pevnik got his very first varsity regular season knock here today, and that's a big-time achievement for him. And he came in to score the only run to this point for the Red Raiders. An 0-2 here to Pevnik. He'll swing at this one, foul it off into the right side. That's what I'm saying. Get that kid over and off of that netting. If that one was any more over to the right side, that kid would have a big bump and be heading home a little bit early. Another 0-2. That one outside. Good hold by the sophomore. 1-2 goes your count. Shaker Heights needing to string together hits now. It's now or never here against Catholic. And where does that hit? Ooh, my goodness, this umpire with a wider strike zone today. And Pevnik going to be called out on the 1-2 outside pitch. Next pitch over. That one catching for Jeremy Silver. We are aware, by the way, of course, Lake Catholic, we've been saying all game, Andrews Osborne Academy, a part of Menor. It's actually not, but it's in that same area, and that's what we're trying to get at. That's why this game was moved here to a home game for Lake Catholic. Here in an 0-2 to Silver. That one up high, easy take that time for the now first baseman. But yeah, of course, it's out here in Willoughby, but, I mean, that's so much closer to Menor, and that's why I turned in the home game there. Swing and miss on the 1-2. So there you go. Out number 2, back-to-back Ks here for the new pitcher, number 7, Trinetti, who has picked up strikeouts 13 and 14 here in the 7th inning. And now this next one outside, Casey Robinson holds off. Well, now the comeback would be incredible, but it's not likely. Coxon would be up next if he gets his chance. 1-0 pitch to Robinson, that one outside. Comeback now would be something special, but yeah, 2 away now. 2-0 count, though, to Robinson. And this one fouled back in just over the netting, and it'll go behind our box here, as we said, in Willoughby, Ohio. We've called a couple of games out in Willoughby, specifically against the Willoughby South Rebels football squad. This one outside, low, into the right-handed batter's box. 3-1 goes your count. And this one taken. Oh, tough call for ball 4, but he'll gladly take it and hop his way over to first. It'll keep the game alive for now. Michael Coxon 1 for 3 with a hit in that very first inning. Since then, he's gone 0 for 2. Trying to keep things alive here is the sophomore. Runner on first. That one low and outside, taken by Michael Coxon. Robinson taking his lead off of first. Trinetti checks over to him, but he'll just deliver. That one low. 2-0 goes your count to Michael Coxon, number 4, the catcher in today's game. He's let a couple slip on past him, but nothing too major. This next one, ruled as an outside strike. 2-1 we go. Both JV teams getting warmed up outside of foul territory. Shaker Heights' JV team set to take on the Lake Catholic JV team. Next pitch, that one catches outside once more. Wide strike zone, and now Shaker Heights down to their final out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first is Casey Robinson. Shaker Heights down by 3. 4-1 the score. And here it comes, and Coxon takes that one for strike 3, and Trinetti comes out, strikes out the side. And English shakes his head as he walks over to the line of the Red Raiders. And I don't know if you just saw that on the broadcast. English just looked up to me, and he says that pitch far outside. And we all agree with him. I mean, Lake Catholic, however, you got to tip your cap. I mean, they have taken advantage of that strike zone. And with 21 outs, 15 of them were strikeouts. Shaker Heights just struggled to make that contact, and they did make contact a couple of times. They weren't out hit for now back-to-back games, and those are the only 2 games in which they haven't been. But as I'm telling you the game story, I'm going to hop out in front of you because why not? And so Shaker Heights here today lose this game 4-1. They were able to get hits, but again, they just weren't able to convert on those big offensive chances. With Braden White over at third twice with only 1 out, they weren't able to both times to actually come away and get a run to score. Luckily, Leo Pevnik's very first varsity hit did not go to waste. He was able to score off of his base knock, but other than that, Shaker Heights only with 1 run here today. The good thing to note, however, is Shaker Heights had no big defensive errors, and they had a lot of plays out in the field, while Lake Catholic, of course, only 6 outs made in the field. They did not as much, but they actually had 2 errors compared to those 6 outs, while Shaker Heights didn't have as many strikeouts, and they did make a lot of those phenomenal plays. As we saw in the infield, not too many real mistakes from Shaker Heights here today. Maybe some unlucky bounces, but nothing crazy. Shaker Heights here today going to lose their first game after their back-to-back wins, and we will see you back next week. We will be out for the Tuesday game. I will be out in Phoenix visiting the Arizona State University College campus, but we will be back then for the next day, as we will be on the road against Brunswick for the back half of the back-to-back series games. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call from here in Willoughby, Ohio at the Andrews Osborne Academy, Loomis Field. We will see you next time.